Though we remain dispersed throughout the far reaches of the galaxy, exiled from our true home, we are all still Decepticons, united by a common purpose. The time has come for us to put aside our differences and act as one under my undisputed leadership. Only then can we cast off the shackles of Autobot oppression. Working together, we can raise up our glorious empire once more and crush all who stand in our way.
All right, and we are now finally back for another draw stream because last week I took last weekend off because I had some stuff to do on Saturday, but we are back doing another draw stream slash discussion stream. I need to get this focused in. Okay, but today we're obviously going to be drawing this guy because he's obviously probably going to be. It's kind of hinted at he's going to be one of the main characters, like main human robot relationship character of the film. So yeah, I also really like Mirage as a character. So we are going to be drawing him today as I kind of give my overall more initial thoughts about the trailer that was and we got Mirage here. So there's a little shadow going on. Hold on. Fix the clicks. Light. There we go. So we got a little Mirage head sketch. I just started working on this morning and thought, let's go live. Let's talk about the movie trailer. So let me just get the comments open. All right. So obviously we got Mirage here. Obviously going for more of the G1 look. He has a very more stylized design, very much more like the Bayverse style in the movie. But yeah. But yeah, actually no, I'm not gonna use this guy. So yeah, we'll probably do some pencils today as well as some inks, probably. Just gotta tidy up the pencil lines and we'll work our way to that. But so I guess we'll start with some of the some of the negatives I kind of felt about the movie. One of the things I'm not really one of the things that I've kind of noticed is that the animation or the CGI doesn't really look all that finished. It might just be very early stuff. Like it doesn't really look like it's especially like when it comes to like Prime. Like Prime looked a little off in the trailer. Like his face looked a little off, and I'm not really crazy about the design, mostly because he's missing the red in his abdomen. I kind of mentioned this on Twitter this morning, but yeah, he's kind of missing that sort of red and gray breakup in his abdomen that he has in the original cartoon, which I'll show off real quick in this little clip I have of Prime.
Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
As there's not really a whole lot of breakup in the new design for him, which he had that breakup in his color in the Bumblebee movie, but they kind of changed it for this movie for some reason. And he still doesn't have the actual truck grill on his chest as well. It's kind of missing, but overall it's still a decent design. It's just missing those really key elements of his design in the cartoon. Mirage, kind of disappointed he's not the race car, but he's now the Porsche, which looks a lot more like Jazz, to be honest. But it seems like Mirage is going to be kind of like the main sort of hero of the movie, at least in terms of the the kid appeal type character. He's gonna be the new Bumblebee of the film, which I kind of like. I like that they're kind of switching away, because Bumblebee's I like Bumblebee but he did get oversaturated for a really long time. So it is nice that we're actually going to get to focus on other characters other than Bumblebee for this film here. And Mirage is actually a really good character to do that because he's a really interesting character. And he actually has a really cool ability in this film, which I think is a more new ability, where, because originally in the original cartoon, he was actually able to turn invisible and whatnot. Kind of, he was basically the Autobot spy and whatnot. And yeah, but in this one, this is a newer, more ability that he kind of showed off in the Netflix series as well, where he's basically duplicating himself or making holograms of himself. Using that to confuse his opponents and whatnot. So that was a really cool scene in the trailer. That was really cool how that turned out. Now in my headcanon, I'm just like, putting in my headcanon that he's just borrowing this ability from Hound, his homeboy. Because Hound and Mirage were kind of like were kind of buddy in the original cartoon. So I was like, he's borrowing that ability from his homeboy. Yeah. So yeah, Mirage is pretty cool. See, RC was definitely one that really stood out to me as being really cool. I like that she actually has the visors, the visor she had in the '86 movie when she was like trying to find like Cup and Hot Rod, like she was like using them as like goggles instead, or what do you call it, binoculars or whatever, like to kind of see at a distance. So that's kind of. Now, for this movie, it's going to be more of like a tactical thing. Like it's going to be for her when she's doing battle and whatnot. So, but it's really cool that they're doing a little head nod like that. Not really crazy about the color scheme, but they're going for more of a red and white color scheme rather than the classic pink. But it's not hateful. And I like the overall like figure design for her. So I'll give them that. Didn't really get to see a whole lot of Wheeljack, but I feel like they might be going for the Michael Bay route for his design, not because there's only one little glimpse of Wheeljack in his robot form, but it's from the back view, and the problem is from that view you don't really actually see like the vents or the horns or whatever on the side of his head, so it kind of. They'd be doing a whole redesign for that character, which really would suck because I really liked his design in the Bumblebee movie. But Wheeljack looked really fucking awesome in that. Yeah, I think I made a mistake. And so, let's see, Bumblebee. Bumblebee looks like he might actually be getting killed off in this movie. Which I'm not too sure why they do that because he's like the most. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We don't know if he for sure he can be killed off. He might come back later on, rebuilt or something like that. But yeah, he's been stabbed the fuck by Scourge, who I'll get to in a minute. Get his chin, oh boy. Hey, Blake. Primal looks and sounds terrible. Yeah, I mean, it looks fine to me. I don't know. But I was never really the biggest Beast Wars fan. I was always more G1 Transformers fan. So I do wish they brought back Gary Chalk, though. But they're getting Ron Perlman to do the voice for him. So. But yeah, it looks like Bumblebee's going to be either killed off or he's going to be really injured and he's going to have to get repaired later on in the movie. Now, a couple months back, they actually did say that the movie was going to have characters like they'll have like multiple different factions in this film, like obviously the Autobots. There's going to be Maximals, there's going to be Terracons, and there's going to be Predacons and Decepticons. That's what they said. a good year or so ago. Which I'm guessing what it'll be is I think the Terracons, the Maximals, and the Autobots will be the main characters, and then the Predacons and the Decepticons will be like minor roles. It was like Mecha King Kong, then a Gorilla Bot, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really the biggest Beast Wars guy, so I was never really into those designs personally. Well, it doesn't really bother me, but I can imagine why it would bother like the Beast Wars fan base. Like, it looks like they're kind of trying to mix like the robot with like the organic element of the characters. So. And with the whole thing with all these different factions in this movie, that's why I kind of felt like they should have just done like 2 like separate films, because I feel like it could get crowded. And to me, it's like I said, the reason I said that is that they should just do like like let's just do like 2 separate films entirely. Let's do one like Beast Wars film, then one like G1 film, like. They're completely separate films. I'm guessing they're trying to use this film to kind of spin off of future Beast Wars, like full-on Beast Wars movie with like all the cast and whatnot. But I feel like they should have just done like this should have just been the sequel to the Bumblebee movie. Just have a normal Autobots versus Decepticons sort of storyline, and then kind of maybe do like a little Beast Wars tease at the end, and kind of have like a spin that off into a movie sometime down the road. Like, I think that's what they should have done on. It could be like an in-between movie, like kind of setting up everything. So. And so as for the actual Terracons, we got, obviously, they've confirmed that the villains are going to be, what's his name? Scourge and Nightbird, and I can't remember the other guy's name for the life of me. But it was like kind of a new sort of name for the character. But he's the truck in the movie, the orange like truck and whatnot. And Nightbird's gonna have a completely different story in this one, because in the original cartoon, Nightbird was actually a human-built robot. That was obviously taken over by Megatron and all that. But in this version, she's going to be an actual like Cybertronian. So, which I can't remember if they gave her a Cybertronian origin, or if they did the G1 origin in the IDW books. I can't remember for life of me, but I like but I actually kind of like the theory or the fan sort of speculation that they were going to take the parts because Shatter from the Bumblebee movie was actually based off of Nightbird's design in the original cartoon, and so what this theory was is like, well, what if like a human organization got their hands on her parts and was able to create like a ninja robot, and that would be Nightbird and whatnot, and then you do that. Like, that was like kind of an interesting idea about it, but not too big. Yeah. I remember them being a lot smaller in the cartoon to the Transformers, which I don't know. I'm not really all that torn up about. I do kind of like the idea though that the original Transformers, are actually a lot bigger than the Maximals, because it kind of like, it just shows a lot more weight to the what once was in the past, Almost like they're like the gods or whatever, it's sort of like a, it gives like that kind of vibe, like the ancient gods or whatever. But yeah, that was like, but yeah, the Beast Wars elements, I mean, it's gonna depend. Not too sure how I'm gonna feel about it, because I'm not really the biggest Beast Wars fan, so I'm not too sure how well they're gonna handle everything. Just because I never really got through Beast Wars. I could only watch a couple episodes. It just wasn't really for me, honestly. I was more into G1. Most of the G1 like cast of characters, those were the ones I really were into. So that's why I didn't really like get into Beast Wars, because I was like, where's Ironhide? You know, where's Bumblebee? Where's Jazz? What was it? Where's Grimlock? Yeah, it's just like made me miss my characters. So. Let's see here. But yeah, obviously this movie's gonna have a lot of time travel elements, I'm guessing, because that's how Beast Wars kind of rolls. Because basically, it's kind of like a time paradox, from my understanding of how it works. Hold on. Trying to see how the cannon looks on his arm. Don't worry about the cannon lighter. Or here, I can't take it off actually in this figure because it actually gets stuck to him. I can't really see for certain. So. But yeah, so I think that so what I was saying earlier about like the role the Decepticons and the Predacons will have, I think it's going to be very minor. Because I think that here's what I'm speculating. I think the very opening scene will be the continuation of the Bumblebee movie, where Prime was getting surrounded by all the Decepticons. It's kind of show how he got to Earth and whatnot, and how he got in touch with all the other Autobots and whatnot. And so that will probably be that'll probably be the most we see of the Decepticons. And then I think that if they do like a post-credit scene, that's when they'll show off like the Predacons and stuff like that, or either that or the Predacons and the Terracons are working together, and that's kind of like what will kind of be the climax of the film. Is Maximals and Autobots versus Terracons and Predacons and stuff like that. So, although it's not going to be really the Terracon's going to be really strange here, because Terracons originally they were the combiner team that formed Abominus. They were kind of like these monster bots and whatnot. They turned into like monster-like creatures, or robotic creatures rather. And so, yeah. Hold on, let me just. Okay. It's a really strange sort of a torso design here, but yeah, I think that's kind of how I'm seeing the story going. However, I could be wrong. Actually, a half circle right here settles. Okay. Smaller. We'll shorten this a little bit. That'll kind of match it better. Just trying to see. Hold on. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, that'd be weird. No, I was talking about in the G1 cartoon, the Terracons were actually combiners and stuff like that. But they're not going to be doing the traditional. Well, I mean, Terracons have kind of taken on multiple forms over the years. Originally, they were the combiner team. They were something in. I can't remember what they were in the Beast Wars cartoon. They were kind of like the. I don't know. But in the Transformers Prime cartoon, as well as the Netflix series, they actually made Terracons. They were basically robots or Transformers that were brought to life by Dark Energon. Or at least in Transformers Prime, it was Dark Energon that brought back the Terracons. In the Netflix series, is something else. But essentially that's kind of how. And that's kind of how the franchise kind of works, you know, over the years, is that they take a name, or they'll take an idea, they'll kind of change it up, they'll have a completely different story to it. Like the Predacons in the Prime cartoon were actually prehistoric, like dragon robots from Cybertron's past and whatnot, versus like the Predacons from the G1 cartoon, which were the Combiner team, or like the Beast Wars Predacons. So that's one of the things about the franchise that I just never really liked, is that they always keep changing everything. It's like, just keep it simple. It's like, just make up your mind. But yeah. And Scourge in this is going to be, he's kind of a, there's a lot of rumors that he's going to be a herald of Unicron like he was in the original cartoon. But he's very much modeled after, or very much inspired by the Robots in Disguise version of Scourge, where he's kind of like a evil twin of Optimus Prime, essentially. It was basically like a Nemesis Prime type thing going on with him in that cartoon. You get a very similar design to that, so that's kind of where this one's coming into play. But I would have preferred more G1 design for that character, but you know. Let's see here. Actually, I'm going to change up this area. Don't really draw the carbon as much as I probably should. Went to a Hound at some point on RC. I already did RC last year, but you know. Doesn't hurt to draw her again. Grimlock is basically Megatron, T-Rex in design in the movies. Having them both in the movie, you can know them apart. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was like the problem with the Michael Bay films, that the design is just awful. Like you couldn't really tell characters apart. They didn't really resemble the original cartoon or any version of the characters for that matter. It's like, I mean, the only ones who kind of look like their original stuff like is like Prime and like Shockwave maybe, but it's only in like the faces and stuff like that. You know, it's like they just changed it up so much. It's like there's no like. You know, the problem is like if you take, like, for example, like look at this design. Like it's very simple, but it also gives you the idea of who the character is. And it's like if you change stuff like that, very simple things in the character's design, it's noticeable. You know, it's like if you change up Batman's design too much, it doesn't become Batman anymore. You know, essentially. That's kind of the problem with the Michael Bay films, that they didn't really have any sort of consistency and whatnot. You know. And it's not just to say like they need to be 100% G1, you know. Hey, Jacob, how's it going, man? Because like the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron video games, they change up the designs all the time in that game, but they were still faithful to the characters because they had the most iconic elements of their designs still intact. Like Prime still looked like Prime. Soundwave still had the chest with the cassette tapes. He has the cannon on his shoulder. He has the head sculpt looks like G1. So there's a way to do it. They just have to make it happen. You know. So it's like not saying they kind of like some more stylized designs. You know, I'm fine with that. It's just like when they change it too much to the point where it's like it looks nothing like the character at all. You know, like there's nothing in common with them. It's just like, oh, this director thought he was creative, and yeah. As a result, we got Einstein fucking Wheeljack in the third movie. So it was stupid. And the twins and the fucking they gave Jetfire a big ass beard for some reason. Made Starscream look like a fucking Dorito. They made Soundwave as like the same size as Bumblebee of all things. Soundwave was supposed to be like a big boy. He was the size of like a head shorter than Megatron, and they made him like tiny like Bumblebee in the movie. But luckily, the Bumblebee movie actually fixed that problem. They actually have Soundwave looking like Soundwave. So, all right, now we get this chest going. All right. It's kind of. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna take it away from this booklet, or never mind. It's fine. Yeah, I'll get my smaller rulers out. Sound way superior. Yeah. Ironhide. It could have. Ironhide's design could have worked if he had a more G1 looking head, but it looked more like a bowl to me. Well, and Jazz was okay. Jazz was okay in the movies. He actually had a fairly decent design, even though he does need the blue and white, or the white and the white and black color scheme, but whatever. But they cut him off, so all right. Let's do that, and then you'll go like this. They grow up to whatever size they want. Same with the Monsterverse. They can decide how big those things are from movie to movie. Yeah. Yeah. Well, to be fair, in G1 there was a lot of like size, like proportions, but the way they kind of explain it, like, is that they can morph their size sometimes, like make a chunk that turns to like a small like, handgun, of all things. And they kind of call it what is it called? Mass shifting, essentially, is what we kind of call it in lore. But yeah, but I heard somewhere they might be trying to do more realistic sizing, which I'm not really the biggest fan of. For me, it's because if they did realistic sizing, like Starscream would be like towering over Optimus Prime. It's like that shouldn't really happen. Like Starscream should be a head shorter than Prime, right? Like I would just stick to the original kind of size of the characters from the cartoon. But I mean, there are some characters that you can probably play around with. But I would just stick to the normal size for the characters from the cartoon, the way they originally were. And it looks like they're giving Wheeljack the Ironhide Ratchet van sort of treatment with the. Because he actually turns into a van instead of the race car or whatever. No. Probably looks pretty small in a lot of the trailer shots too. I think it's just only in comparison to the villains, and I think the villains are supposed to be a lot bigger in this movie, which I kind of like. But I think it's just the Beast Wars characters are going to be, because because he towers over the other Autobots, right? He's much taller than the other characters, which is fine. I don't think that Prime should be the biggest of the Autobots. Like that should be like Grimlock or Jetfire, or well, obviously you'd have like the City Bots and the Combiners, but like in terms of like the normal like Transformers, not the monster sized like Transformers, But but for me, it should always be either Grimlock, Magnus, or Jetfire as the tallest of all. Actually, Broadside. Broadside is probably one of the bigger ones as well, but whatever. But I kind of put them in with the same sort of category as like the Omega Supremes, the Metroplexes, But yeah, it is what it is. Let's see here. So let's see here. All right, I think we're ready to start. Or I just want to touch the line work there. Hold on.
Where's my erasers at? Okay.
I have my eraser pens somewhere. I'm not sure where I put them. Oh, in here. There we go. I'm blind. Blind as a bat. Just want to touch up this line work here, and then I might be able to get to start some inking. Probably won't go into all the extra details. Just gonna kind of get an outline, and probably gonna end the stream. 'Cause I don't want to go for too long today, because I'm trying to get over a headache from last night. I spent all night doing stuff. So I kind of just want to relax today. And actually, my Ultra Magnus is supposed to be coming over. The Ultra Magnus I ordered way back in, I think in April. It's finally on its way because it was a pre-order for it. So, but there was a massive delay because of the snowstorms and stuff like that in BC. So I had to wait an extra week. Theoretically, I should have been here earlier, but kind of weather fucks you up. All right, should be a little smaller box here for the shoulder. Just a little. Okay. And we'll kind of just have the arm sort of starting on this side. All right. Now I'm just gonna get this gun sort of. Now do the gun last. Oh, this looks a little off. I'll change that up. Here, we gotta center this thing a bit better. Yeah, look a little bit off here. Let's yeah. Something like that. All right, auto less simple. Goes right about here. Frame for the symbol. You now start detailing it up. Look pretty. All right. But yeah, overall, I'm kind of interested in this movie. Not too uber excited, but it's like I'm a little bit optimistic, a little bit cautiously optimistic. But it's kind of how I can describe it. There's some good things in it, I think. And the action looks pretty good for the most part. CGI needs a bit more improvement, especially on Prime. I guess face just looks a little off to me. Personally, I think they should just do the mouth covering, like you don't need you never needed the mouth to begin with the original cartoon. You know? And I don't really like the abdomen on Prime. It looks a little bit too plain. There's too much gray, silver. You know, it needs to be it needs the grill from the truck, but it also needs the red and to break it up, like at the bottom of his abdomen, right before his pelvic region. That's one thing I don't really like about Prime's new design. But it is a little bit different than his Balmy design. Oh, hold on, I'm doing the symbol wrong. Okay. Okay. And needs to be fixed there. All right. I wasn't always a pain in the ass to draw, honestly. It's why the Decepticon symbol a lot better. It's a lot easier to draw. Maybe better have down by him. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I heard rumors he might be in the movie, but I don't know. Like I said earlier, I think this is going to be more of a spin-off movie to kind of spin off a Beast Wars film. Kind of introduce the characters first and foremost, and then kind of do their whole story there. Which, I mean, I think they should have just done it from the beginning anyways. It's just done. This movie's just been a G1 Transformers movie, and then have a separate movie, a separate Beast Wars movie. That's how I think they should have gone about things instead of just doing this whole team-up movie. I think it has a flash of him in the trailer, and it's so like, ooh, that's cool. Hi, Mads. How's it going? All right. Just trying to get a symbol going. It's very tricky. All right. Gives you a really small reference here for the symbol. All right, there we go. And then up like this. Oh, no. All right, good enough. Let's erase, actually, let's work on the Canon here. All right, let's get some of these. Actually, I don't think so. Nope, not big enough. I just need circles for the Canon here. My problem is the coil or whatever kind of getting in my way. All right, let's try. Let's go like this. But yeah, Mirage is definitely the highlight for me in the trailer. I think it's gonna be the more interesting character of the film. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to see. And that's one of the characters that really has a potentially have really cool like action scenes. Like because he can turn invisible, he can use his illusions and whatnot. Like we saw in the trailer. Like I think it's a really fun character to have. And I like that they're actually using someone else other than Bumblebee as sort of the main sort of like, I guess human like companion Autobot, for lack of better terms. Because that's how it usually goes. They usually have like one Autobot, which is usually Bumblebee, who's kind of like the Kid Appeal character, But it looks like they're axing Bumblebee in this film. He's like getting stabbed the fuck in this movie. Which I don't know why they would spoil that in the trailer, but yeah. Unless it's just gonna be like one of those things where it's like just damaged badly and has to get repaired or whatever. They're robots; they can be fixed, Let's see. All right, let's get the other circle going. Let's go about shit. What? Let's go like this. All right. Nah, I don't like it. Times 316. So, all right, I'll just leave the Canon for now. We'll do the We're gonna start working the inks for his face, so I want to get that squared away, and then we'll kind of work on the details of the torso and all that fun stuff. So let's go grab some pens. Actually, I need some paper to make sure these pens are working properly. Nope, you're dead. Let's see. Ah. shadow on my camera. Look at that. All right. Let's make sure it's focused. I need to go back to the Faber store and get more pens. So my 03s are dying on me. You look new. Why are you? Fuck you. All right, I might have to use ones then. Nope. Yeah, lift off. You got one. All right. All my pens need to be replaced. I haven't been stocking up lately. I'll move you, Mirage, because I no longer need your as a model. All right, let's get. We'll kind of get the outline of the face, and then we'll kind of work our way to the. There we go. Do I want to use this guy? Yeah. A nice smooth curve on his cheeks. Let's see, I don't know if I can do a whole or I might. Yeah, I really like that. There you go, I'll just three-handed it. Yeah, we'll just freehand it. It's fine. All right. All right. Obviously, I like to use the, I'm not sure what it's called, but this sort of template or whatever, a ruler. This is a nice little curved. It's really useful for doing transformers because it adds a little bit extra depth, adds a bit more, a little bit more personality, makes it a little bit more less blocky, 100% of the time. I like to kind of give it a little bit extra curve to the lines, just so it's not too boring. Okay. Let's back up just a little. Okay. See how many actual lines are on his cheek. 3. Okay, so I did get it right first time. All right, so he kind of has like little vents here on the side of his face here. So, obviously, went for the original sort of G1 cartoon design for the character because not too sure how I'm feeling about the design for him. The head looks G1 enough for what I could see. I mean, they didn't really show a whole lot of his head design, but like I said, I do like that they're actually doing other Autobots other than Bumblebee kind of being the main sort of focus. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think Bumblebee's really gonna be dead. It'll be really mind blowing if they actually do go with it, because like Bumblebee for the longest time was like the biggest seller like character in the franchise. So like there was a time when it was like you could go to a toy store without seeing a Bumblebee Transformer toy on the shelves. Like it was ridiculous. But they had multiple sizes, multiple different colors and stuff like that, different versions and whatnot. So it is kind of nice that they're actually focusing on other characters now. So, but not too sure you really need to kill a Bumblebee in order to do that. But that's kind of how they're rolling, so to speak. But who knows? Maybe he's just injured. All right, let's get this mouth going. It's going nice. Little smirk, little smile. He's a happy old Autobot. Let's get the nose, or at least the bridge of the nose. All right. And gotta do the. So it's kind of right. Let's do the eyes first, actually. Trying to go for a more rounded sort of edge at the bottom of the eyelid. Just kind of give him a bit more of a heroic look to him, Just add a bit more detail. All right. Yeah, we'll worry about it later. All right. That's the neckline. Now we're going to do the torso. I need my ruler. Can I do it at this angle? Yes, I can. We got a thicker pen for this. Because thicker the better. And she'll do this guy. Actually, you know what? Just need a little bit different. We'll go just about there. I do want to have a little bit of a gap in between here, so I can have like the little half circle sort of design here. Just have a bit more. Just adds a bit more depth to it. So here, I shall pencil that in real quick, so I have an idea of what I'm doing, so I don't make any mistakes. All right, so circle. Or I think one of these guys. Doesn't really fit that one. Just trying to find. Maybe these guys. This might work. No. Alright, we'll try a half circle. That should be good. Not too far. There. Something like this. And have that teeter off this year. And then I need my toy back for reference. Got these two half circle kind of things in the middle. Gotta center this. And then, okay. trying to make sure. Okay. Ah, all right, move you. No way. There we go. All right. Let's see. We'll worry about extra detailing up later. So we get the important stuff squared off right now. I just want to make this a little bit thicker on the red, or what's supposed to be the red. Like I'm trying to get this like little shape here on his torso here. It's like in the blue there. That's kind of a tricky thing right now. All right. Actually, this is the best way to do it. We'll do this. Draw another half circle. Okay, just break that half circle down into the shapes we need. There we go. All right, we figured it out. Figured it out. You can use a, and no, that should be fine. Actually, I'll use a thicker pen. Use a 0.3. All right. But along with the Transformers trailer that came out, they also released the Indiana Jones trailer, which I guess I'll talk about a little bit. Because I used to actually watch like Indiana Jones like all the time, like every day. Like from school. It's the same thing with Star Wars. I used to watch those movies all the time. But this one, I am very cautious about. It looks not really a fan of time travel in general as a story plot point. But I mean, it looks fun, I guess, but not really sure if it's gonna be really good like Indiana Jones. I don't think it's gonna be really good for the character. That's what I mean. But a lot of people don't really like it. I'm hearing. Doesn't look horrible to me, but also doesn't look great either. Also, I feel like the music was or the muted felt a little bit less, epic. Lack of better terms, kind of feels like very subdued type of theme going on with it. But whatever. Don't really trust Disney, so I'm not really expecting much from it. All right. He does have tires cooked up in his torso, at least on the toy I have. Might be interesting to have a little bit of a tire like showing. We'll see. You guys just get the I don't know what you'd call it on the race car, but actually, just want to make sure you get the lines right here. Sheet like that. We'll tidy it up later. Look at that thing going. Make sure it's straight. All right, that should be fine. Let's get the Autobot symbol drawn in, and then yeah, we'll kind of work our way around them. All right. Definitely prefer drawing the Decepticon symbol. It's a lot easier to draw. All right, let's get the chin. I should do it with the auto symbol. All right. Should do the arms. Yeah, I'll leave that for a minute. Or let's see. Yeah, it should be fine. Don't worry about too much on this side because it's going to be cut off anyways, because that's the cutoff point for the paper. So. All right. So I think it's just the abdomen here needs to be filled in, much like the movie's prime design. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but it could use some work. Yeah, I'll just black that all in, or black that all out, or something. Yeah. But yeah, that should be all. Everything I need to ink, because I'm going to redraw this, or I'll keep this element, but I'm going to redraw like the back of the cannon here. So let's do that real quick. Okay. Pain in the ass. Here. Go right about there. All right. Now let's do some erasing. Oop, I missed a spot. I'll pull it in later. But yeah, I actually think that Mirage was supposed to be in one of the Michael Bay films, but well, I think it was. He was supposed to be the Ferrari, the red Ferrari in the third movie, but because I think the toy, or no, the video game had him listed. His name was Mirage, but the movie they named him Dino for some reason. Because so technically not Mirage. So thank God for that. So I didn't want Michael Bay to ruin him too. But yeah. I think this new movie Mirage is gonna be a little better. Just have a little feeling it might be a little better. But, all right, I think we're good to go. Just gotta touch up the line work here, and then we will get going. So I'll be ending the stream right after I finish like just outlining this properly. Call it a wrap. I don't want to go for too long. So tomorrow we'll be coming back to do the Megatron Draw stream, and we'll be continuing our animated series stuff with the Catwoman. I think I'll change up this stuff, Christmas events, but we'll see. I'll put a poll on Twitter. We'll figure it out from there. See what people are wanting. I'm thinking about doing like one singular theme, but I might actually do like an abundance of different things. I think that might be more interesting. Okay. And we'll just fix up the helmet. Make it more presentable. Kind of fucked that up. Luckily, I could always fix this when I do the colored version, but I still have a bunch. Oh my goodness, all these hot girls are after me now. My God, they're all drawn to my eccentric charms. But I'm going to decline my idea. The YouTube end wants to. Motherfucker. Remove. Look at ass. All right. Nope. Why won't. All right. This thing's fucking slow. You're lucky. Hi, user. Get the fuck out of here. Get your hose out of here. The only bot in the stream is the one I'm drawing. use the one for this guy. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll just rough in the cannon here. All right. Oh, actually, I might have fucked it up. Whatever, we can fix it up in the colored version. Let's leave the Canon. So, yeah, in the colored version in the near future, because I have a bunch of stuff to color up. But I'll at least add one to the pile. But yeah. Actually, this one seems a little bit off here, but whatever. I can always fix it later. But yeah, there's our little boy. Mirage. Just wanted this really quick stream to get my initial thoughts on the new trailer. So yeah, guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be drawing Catwoman, and then the next week after, we'll see what we want to do for the rest of the month. So I'm thinking of doing like multiple different like. I'll think about it more, but because I'm not too sure if I want to just continue the Batman theme or if I want to do something a little bit different. So, because I do want to have more like Christmas themed, more related drawings, streams. So I might do something a little bit different. Maybe just Transformers. Maybe do some more DC characters or Marvel or whatever. Yeah. But on that note, I am going to call it a wrap and head on out. So. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for more on Catwoman, and yeah, I will see later. And let's end this off on something. What should we end this off on? I'll do the Transformers Prime one. All right. Thanks so much for stopping by, Dan, Mark, Mama, Oliver, and of course Jacob. Good to see you guys again. And I will be back tomorrow to do some more coloring. So yeah, I will see y'all later.
Our opportunity to revive Cybertron has been lost due to the treachery of Optimus Prime. But from our fortress of New Chaon, we will instead seize control of this world! Decepticons! Transform and rise!